We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hello. Hey, and everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Surprise, we're back. I had some technical difficulties for the last few days, so finally got those straightened out, and we're back. And yes, I'm going to be able to do everything. I'm sorry about the lighting. I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. I have it kind of dark in here. It's early in the morning. Didn't feel like turning all the lights on, and I have this bright freaking light in my face. So anyway, let's turn that down a little bit. Okay, it's just going to be dark, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. So everything is back up and running. Whoops, I'm going to hit the microphone. But we had to go buy a new computer. My laptop just was freaking out. And well, like I said before, it was getting old and it just couldn't keep up. So it started freezing all the time. And I have cats who've decided that they want to fight right now while I'm recording a podcast. So, water bottle. You got to keep the cats at bay. Anyhow, it's the weekend. It's Saturday, and I have a busy day ahead of me, as many of you also do, I'm sure. But as far as health concerns are going, everything is actually pretty good right now. I'm still struggling with the sleeping thing. I don't know what we're going to do about that. I'm still working on some stuff. But I've been taking melatonin and different things at night. And as I've said before, I have no problem falling asleep now. In the past, falling asleep was the biggest problem. And then I would sleep for maybe 5 hours. But now it seems I'm falling asleep easy enough. I just can't stay asleep. And I don't sleep long enough. So, I stayed awake last night until at least 11:30, I think it was, just reading and stuff. And I still got up at before 5 o'clock in the morning. So my body just starts hitting that limit. But that might be my only solution, is to just stay up later so that when I do sleep for 5 hours, I'm getting up at 5 or 6 in the morning instead of 2 and 3. But otherwise, everything seems okay. Since the medication switches and stuff, I'm doing a lot better. I feel a lot better. I seem to have good energy, so I guess the physical fitness stuff, the working out and everything is going well. I feel strong. And there's another thing that I'm just going to have to research, I guess, is that my muscle mass is returning. So I don't know if I've talked about this before, but for the last couple of years, it was a struggle to maintain my muscle mass. And at a certain point where my joints were so bad, I couldn't lift heavy weights anymore. So I thought it was just a combination of age and not lifting heavy weights, just lifting, moderate weights and doing body weight exercises and a lot more cardio and stuff. I thought that had a lot to do with my loss of size. I trimmed down into the 160s, which I hadn't weighed in decades. And my general size of me, the size of my arms, the size of my chest, size of my shoulders, those things, they all sort of shrank. And I thought that was just mostly due to age and the fact that I'm not lifting any heavy weights anymore. So I'm wondering if a lack of blood flow and a lack of oxygen getting to those muscles may have had a role in that as well, because I've kind of noticed that my muscle mass is starting to return, and I'm not lifting heavy weights. I'm not doing added protein. I'm not doing any of the mega mass builder, stuff. And because my joints are still bad after years of, working out too much and doing it wrong. So my shoulders, my elbows, they're all still bad. So I'm not lifting really heavy. So I shouldn't be putting on a lot of muscle mass right now. But it seems like I am, and I'm not talking about a lot. Like I haven't put on 20 pounds of muscle mass, but we're just noticing that some of my muscle is returning just through regular activity and regular exercise that's not actually designed to build muscle mass. So I haven't done any research on that. I haven't talked to any doctors about it, but I'm wondering if that could somehow, for some people, be a symptom or a sign that they're having heart problems. Is sort of a loss of muscle mass over a fairly short period of time. And mine, I think, started, it was probably back when I dislocated my shoulder. And I started going back to martial arts training and stopped lifting heavy weights for a long time. And probably 2 years ago, I don't know, I changed my diet and stuff, and I might have been 3 years ago, and I changed the way I was working out. And so I started thinking, man, I'm just losing muscle mass too fast. And so I would try to change my workout routine. I would try to get more protein and get more, muscle building stuff going on, eating more calories. Then nothing seemed to work. And so now I seem to be putting on weight and putting on muscle mass a lot easier and almost naturally, because I'm not trying to put on muscle mass or weight. That might become an issue in the future if I'm going to keep putting on weight, because I don't want to put on much more weight. And if I do, it needs to be lean muscle mass. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually, do that with, my other issues, my arthritis and, my bad joints and stuff like that. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but some of my muscle mass is returning almost like naturally. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say that might have something to do with having better circulation, because the more blood, more oxygen, and more nutrients are getting to my muscles now. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and try to, judge that. It might be just for me. Maybe it is. Maybe it's something that people could look out for as a sign of something other than just getting older. We always hear that we're going to have a loss of strength, a loss of muscle mass and things if you just let yourself grow old. If you're not continuously challenging your body, you're just going to start losing muscle mass. And people kind of accept that as a part of getting older. I did. And I sort of just accepted that I'm never going to be able to maintain the type of muscle mass I used to carry around and things like that, just because I'm getting older and I've got, all these injuries and stuff that I can't work out the way I used to 30 years ago, 20 years ago. But I'm now very curious about loss of muscle mass related to heart disease, because I had 5 blockages going on around my heart. So my heart wasn't getting oxygen really well, or oxygenated blood really well, from any angle, really. And so, I'm going to have to try to find a doctor of some sort I can talk to about that, because now I'm really curious. Because, like I said, it just seems very naturally to be returning. The muscle mass is just naturally returning. And I haven't really changed my routine that much. So anyhow, that's what's been going on. I feel okay. I'm not really having any dizzy spells. I'm not having the nausea so much. Occasionally I still have the nausea, but that's improving. The chest pressure. Now I can say that it kind of comes and goes, because it's not there all the time. And like this morning, when I'm just, sitting here talking to you right now on the podcast, I'm not feeling it right now. That doesn't mean that later today I won't, or in the next 10 minutes I won't, because it seems to just happen and I don't really know how to judge it. But I don't know if you just heard that. Did you hear that sound? Well, I'll have to listen to it when I play it back. Anyway, had to buy a new computer is what we had to do. So didn't buy anything expensive. It's just a basic desktop, actually. I didn't buy another laptop, because it seems that most laptops are no longer capable of doing what I want it to do with all the different peripheral devices that I'm going to be using and all that. A desktop is just more powerful, and I can do more things with it reliably. So a new laptop might be in the works later, but for now we went with a desktop computer. And It wasn't even expensive. So I think it was last year's model and everything. But it had all the specifications that I needed, and all the internals. It's actually a business computer. It's not built for gaming or entertainment or anything like that. But because it's a business-built computer, it connects to my phone. So I got a text message, and that's what popped up. That sound was the computer telling me that I got a text message. So that's what that was. And I'm assuming, I don't know if it's going to show up in the audio, but we'll see. Anyhow, I hope everybody else is doing fine. I hope everybody feels good. Enjoy the weather. It's kind of nice today. We had some really beautiful weather this week. The leaves are changing on the trees. The temperature was in the high 60s, low 70s most of the week. It was sunny. It was beautiful. It rained some yesterday, but not even for very long. And it looks like, looking outside, because I have a window over there, it looks like it's a beautiful day today. And it's chilly at night and all that stuff. Fall is here. So I love it. And so I'm going to go start my weekend. I'll probably be back later, do some more recording, punch out a couple of more episodes, try to make up for 3 or 4 days or whatever it was without being able to do it. And so I'll be back, and I hope everyone, is doing great. Let me know how you're doing. Everybody knows how I'm doing because I'm putting it on the internet for everyone to see. So tell me how you're doing. If you're having any of the things that I'm going through, if you're feeling any of those things and you don't think you have heart disease or anything, hey, talk about it. Talk to your doctor. That's kind of why I'm doing this. It's just kind of a diary of how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. So if you start feeling some of the same things that I am, you should probably talk to somebody. Because the reason why I'm feeling them is not good. But it feels like everything's getting better. So I'm optimistic. I'm still optimistic. And I'm looking forward to being able to do more as time goes by. So I'll also be working out this weekend. A couple of times probably. But anyway, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, eat right, exercise, all that stuff. I don't know, eat your vegetables. I don't have the outro put back in here yet. So it's just going to be an abrupt ending to the podcast today because I could go do. I don't know. I'm not good at doing the music. So it's just going to stop abruptly. So catch you all later. Take care. Goodbye.